On behalf of Youth M.O.V.E. Colorado, we encourage you to listen to this sample of our soon to be released podcast, Season 2 of Youth Empowerment Radio, formerly known as Next Gen Combos.
My name is Ellis, and I am the drop-in center coordinator at Oak Tree Youth Resources, based out of Durango, Colorado. We support youth in 5 different counties across southwestern Colorado, and primarily we're a drop-in space. So you've come to us in a variety of states with a variety of different needs, and we try to meet them where they're at and support them in creating goals. Oftentimes that centers around independent living, housing, education, and a lot around mental health support as well. There's a lot of youth who have inspired me since I started working at Oak Tree. One in particular is a young man who is 24 years old, and he has lived a lifetime in his years. He's lived in multiple states in a variety of conditions, and again, the adults in his life have let him down. When he came to us, we did an initial intake, and that I think was about 2 hours long, that I was sitting in a room and this young man was sharing his heart and his soul with me. Multiple times throughout the interview, I myself just had to take a breath and look at him in the eyes and let him know that I was present and I was hearing him. Because the lived experience that he was sharing with me was so raw and so real, a lot of which I couldn't understand and didn't live myself, but I had immense empathy for. And I wanted to let him know that because in his lived experience, he has been going from system to system and vocalized that he didn't trust these systems, that he didn't feel seen, and he didn't know how to move forward in his life. This individual is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life. Throughout the interview, he would share statistics and facts about the way that our brains work, the way that our systems work, the way that trauma works, the way that his own household worked. The amount of introspection and intelligence that he brought to sharing his own story and wounds shocked me. And another thing that shocked me about this individual is he hadn't completed high school, because throughout his adolescence, there were long periods of institutionalization, of having to flee situations. And so because of that, he didn't have that experience that so many of his peers did of completing school, of getting that diploma and being recognized and seen, despite the amount of intelligence and experience that he carries. So really for me, the lesson with this individual is that all young people, and especially young people who have carried years of lives shortened, is to see them and to reflect back to them what they carry, even if it's wrapped up in pain, because oftentimes they haven't been acknowledged for that. They haven't been seen for that. And his path and his trajectory is his. And sometimes I might share ideas. I might nudge him to exploring a program at our local community college. But because he's an adult, I have to respect and honor his decisions and what he wants to do. But I can be there. I can be there to reflect back to him. I can be there to encourage him. And I can be there when he shows up on a day and everything went wrong. And I can be there on a day that maybe a couple things went right. What I've been working on this youth with is slowly and at his own pace, introducing him to different spaces that could support his incredible mind. So one example is we have a local Dharma center where people of all ages come and meditate. And there's a talk as well, and it's a really supportive, engaging environment where he can find community and be amongst folks who have similar interests in the mind. I've also been working with him on starting to explore and consider revisiting school. But because that is a space and a system that's so fired up for him, I respect and let him guide what that process looks like. As a practitioner, it's really easy to want to show what supports and services are available, but the important thing is keeping it youth led and youth driven. And so when he comes to me, I let him help guide what we're going to do, but reminding him of his intelligence, reminding him of those longer term goals that he does have, because he does dream of entering very astute fields and making quite a life for himself. And I remind him in order to get there, it's small incremental goals and perhaps revisiting things that are uncomfortable. But he's the one who guides the pace that we get there with. And so it's really just maintaining that relationship and maintaining that trust so he feels comfortable to come into our space and he feels comfortable to continue setting small goals and working towards what he's capable of.